Hello fellow gamers, welcome to Azreality Gaming. My name is Dustin, and today we're going to be talking about collecting physical media and the effect that digital media has on that. Okay, first, let's talk about digital media first, or downloadable games. Downloadable games are, of course, anything that you can get on your PC, handhelds, or consoles. They are very convenient, easy to be able to get. With internet speeds increasing over the years, the download time it takes in order to get them are not nearly as long, which is a good thing. Storage is also becoming cheaper and cheaper, and so your consoles and PCs will also be able to hold these digital games much easier. The only disadvantage I can see with digital media is certain systems, like if you look at the old Nintendo Wii, the Nintendo shop that was listed there, those games that you purchased on that system are no longer transferable to, like, say, the Switch or any newer system that Nintendo comes out with. So sometimes if you purchase on a older console, it's not always going to be available on your newer console if you did download it. So why is physical media really collectible? It provides a nostalgic, tactile, sensational feel. That's a terrible word. I can't believe I said that. Is that even a word? I don't know. Anyways, you know where I'm getting at. It has physical appeal to it, right? You're able to hold it in your hands. You're able to put it on your shelves on display, dust it off, keep it clean, whatever it is you like to do, right? But you can still get the entertainment value out of it. Plus, certain carts, older first generation consoles, we'll say Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, TurboGrafx, those older Generation 1 physical media games, they have a certain appeal to age groups probably 30 to 50 years old, the Gen X and maybe the first Gen Y era. They, are something that they had when they were kids, and or, now maybe they don't have it, and now they want to reacquire it. They've got the ability to do so. Or maybe they didn't ever have it in the beginning, and now they really want it. This drives some of the demand behind physical media collecting. We all know that when supply is low and demand is high, that creates a hype, and that creates demand and draw for that particular game. Of course, the price is going to go up when that happens. Kids today, let's say the Millennials and Gen Ys, anybody between the ages of maybe 15 up to 25, maybe close to 30, most of the games that they collected or played in when they were young were disc-based games. So they're not quite the same as the old Generation 1 consoles or games. So these new disc-based games, what's compelling a young adult to be able to go back and buy some of the older Generation 1 games when they're completely happy buying their generation games? Going forward, even the next generation, the new millennials, or I guess Gen Yers, Gen Zers, I'm not sure what the heck they're called these days. You look that up and let me know. Kids that are in the age between 10 and 15 and younger, they're all doing digital downloads, right? So they're not really even bothering buying physical media because it's just inconvenient for them at this point. So are they ever going to want to go back and collect CDs, discs, cartridges, Generation 1 systems? Probably not. I can't see any reason for that. In order to make this kind of a comparison, let's look at another collectible that in the past was really, really popular, of course, and today you think, that's stupid. What am I talking about? Stamps. Stamps! Oh boy, you know you love stamps, right? They're not just for mailing packages to your grandma. No siree. Back in the day, stamps used to be really popular. People would peel them off the already posted mail that was sent. Also, if you could find uncirculated stamps. Going forward, is that stamp collecting still really popular? No, probably not. Stamps suck, let's be honest. But why did stamps decline? Why did stamps collecting no longer survive past that generational gap? My grandparents loved to collect that kind of stuff. My parents probably did too. But it never survived beyond that. Well, why? Email came out. The need to send packages and letters is no longer nearly as popular. Nowadays, you can actually do a little print bar across the top of the letter in order to send it. You don't even need to have a stamp. And, the rarity of stamps is no longer really out there. Of course, I know there are still old stamps from way, way back in the day that are still extremely valuable. I get that. There's always going to be something of value. But everything else from that on, nobody wants them. Nobody cares about it. They sit in shoeboxes in your grandparents' attic and they're done. They were affected by a change in technology. Hence the internet, email, etc. No reason to even bother with these things anymore. The demand, the draw is not there. My generation and younger don't care about that stuff. Will the same thing happen with digital media versus physical media? I don't know. I hope not, because I love to collect games, and I hope they stay around for a very, very long time. But the trend is kind of showing that if technology comes in and replaces an existing system or process, they tend to fade out. Right now, I would say that we've kind of experienced our plateau in collecting Generation 1 video games. There's not a lot of extra people getting into it. Everybody that's wanted to get into it has already. The only influx of new collectors into the market are people looking for sealed games these days, or graded games and things like that. So that's like that comic book market, baseball card market, etc. That they're just kind of jumping from one hobby to the next hobby, trying to get a quick cash out. That's not going to be sustainable in the long term. So the only way I can think is to just keep getting people into it, keep getting people excited about it, keep getting a lot of exposure about it, and hopefully our generation and younger will continue to buy and support and love and appreciate these wonderful old Generation 1, 2, and 3 video games. There are also many other collectibles out there that have not stand the test of time besides stamps. Let's look at Pogs.
Pogs!
Pogs suck too, right? They failed in like under a year. Someone could say even the collecting baseball cards and football cards, etc., are no longer nearly as hot as they once were back in the day. Comic books also went through a period of time where they peaked in excitement and hype and then crashed shortly after that. Collecting comic books today is a whole different market. It is all about grading and getting your comic in that 9.8 CGC graded, slab. Coins is another good example. Coins today, coin collecting is still really popular because there's a lot of intrinsic value built into them because they're based upon valuable metals like gold and silver. But even then, do you see a 16-year-old kid running around going, "Oh boy, I'm going to go get myself a silver dollar"? No, nobody gives a crap about that anymore. Technology is starting to replace physical currency. We've got everything on debit cards and credit cards and your phone and your Apple Pays. Eventually, I would imagine that the desire and the demand on collecting coins will continue to decrease over the years. Again, the value that's already there will probably remain because of that metal value.
Excellent!
So in closing, are older physical media games doomed to be not collectible anymore? I'm on the side of believing that they probably will be. Maybe not in my lifetime, but eventually, over time, I think these things will not sustain the test of time. It's just going to be replaced by something bigger, better, and more important. But I'd be interested in knowing what you have to say about that. So in the comments below, let me know what you think about these physical media versus digital media games, and will physical media collecting still be popular in the future? If you like, you can follow me on my other social platforms down below, or I also stream on Twitch in the evenings, usually on the weekends, and that link is listed below as well. If you like what you've seen, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell for future notifications whenever I upload any new videos. Thanks!